earlier this year. But if you look closely at the Delhi figures, you'll actually see the real story. Delhi's posh colonies hardly stepped out to vote. Is India's urban elite only good at cribbing about their cities?
Is local the latest national? It's an arguable pitch if the municipal election turnout in the national capital is anything to go by. On Sunday, Delhi saw a record 55% voters come out to the booths, 13% higher than the last time, even though the largest chunk was from areas other than the posh South Delhi.
One of the most popular voter awareness campaigns this election was based on the Bollywood song Sadda Haq that talks about one's right. But here in South Delhi, home to more affluent people than any other part of the city, the campaign was not as effective.
I don't think any of the parties deserve it. After what we've seen for years, I've completely lost all hope. I don't think I really want to vote.
Only in its south, Delhi has behaved much like the country's financial capital Mumbai. South Mumbai, home to the richest of rich, is notorious for voter apathy. Truth be told, even the middle class and the poor don't turn out in impressive numbers. Mumbai never seems to find those 5 minutes. In the last 3 polls since 2007, the city's voting average has been about 45%. The most startling was the 2009 assembly polls barely 2 months after the 26/11 attacks, protesting which thousands of Mumbaikars had turned out on the streets.
आज छुट्टी का दिन है, हम लोग पिक्चर देखने आए हैं. Wake up time, wake up time. I am not sleeping, okay?
इलेक्शन के दिन अगर आप वोट नहीं कर रहे हो, तो आप सो रहे हो.
Many thought this anger will be telling in the votes. Instead, while the rest of Maharashtra posted a 60% turnout, Mumbai was a mere 50%, much lower than even the general election average.
Basically, they are fed up and there is no accountability, there is no transparency. So these are the reasons which kind of put them off completely.
Well, in the ever-hotly debate on city superiority, Mumbai cannot accuse Delhi of democratic apathy. With Alok Pandey, Amitabh Revi, NETV.
And the question we're asking tonight, does India's elite only crib about the state of its cities? Why don't we do anything about it? Joining us in this particular segment, we have ad filmmaker Prahlad Kakkar from Bombay. We have Reena Dhaka, well-known fashion designer here in Delhi with us. And we also have Kiran Walia, the Minister for Women and Child Development. Dr. Kiran Walia, let me ask you first. Overall, you must be pretty pleased that more people actually came out and cast their vote in Delhi. But when you look at the breakup and you look at the divide between the posher colonies and the rest of Delhi, I'm sure you're not surprised.
Well, yes, posher colonies have not been voting in that number for years now. But there has been a marginal increase, let me tell you, which perhaps has been missed out because we have the figures colony-wise as far as municipal elections go. They came in large numbers for the state elections, you know, but they did not turn up for the municipal elections. But there has been a marginal increase. But as far as the rest of the area of Delhi is concerned, this is absolutely a very welcome step because it makes the whole democratic process firmer, a big leap forward to institutionalizing, you know, what we really think what democracy should be. And people have come and voted, which I think is largely due to a very good campaign by the media and by the NGOs and by the Election Commission. And secondly, it's a women reservation that made large number of women come forward, because maybe to support their women candidates or whatever, but there was a large turnout of women supporters.
What do you think keeps the urban elite away, as it were, for want of a better word? What is it? I mean, is it just apathy, ignorance? They have better things to do. What is it?
It could be a long weekend. Many of them went out, and perhaps. I think that they feel that they have less things at stake, but when you discuss with them, they're very articulate, they know everything about everything that they require around their needs. So I'm trying to figure out that, you know, it's perhaps the pain to get out and to go and vote. Okay. That is extremely important, yeah.
Okay, Reena Dhaka.
So they have to bother to come out, yes.
What do you think? I mean, where do you stand yourself on
Well, I
elections?
could have taken the pain to go out and vote, and there was ample of time for that. It is just that we were deafened by the sound of advertising of the MCD, whatever the candidates in my factory area. And in my entire time of having been there in the past 6 to 7 years, I never saw any movement, any activity, or any feeling of their presence. So suddenly before the elections, we had these deafening speakers playing patriotic songs and the propaganda pushing them. And I do visit a lot of slums because of my nature of my work, including Selampur, Chandni Chowk and areas like that. And if you see the... No, it's fact, I do.
No, I'm surprised you call Chandni Chowk a slum.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, yes, you're right. I stand corrected. No, but Selampur and the areas around it, and if you see the mounds of filth there, and there are very few workers, I just feel, I mean, of course I have gratitude towards those MCD workers who do put their hands in there.
Because you don't feel that they've done anything.
I mean, I surely feel that you can do more than this. I mean, this is
but
really...
But then Sohail is not voting the answer to that. I mean, do you understand people's frustration?
It's very simple.
The MCD?
Let's not give too much of credence to any of this. There are 3 or 4 reasons. Number one, the rich guys buy, bribe, use every inch of, contacts that they have to get their services. So they really don't care. They don't have a stake in the system. I mean, you've got Scenic Farms in Delhi, which is run like a better republic than the Republic of India. They don't even use MCD services. So people who don't have a stake in the system, or who will not be affected either by the laxity of the system or by its agility, don't really care. B, the elite are the best. Of course they're the best to crib, because they have to crib about something. They can't crib about their wives buying Birkins, so they might as well crib about MCD. It's a far more, democratic subject. It shows that you're aware, you're politically, all there. I mean, let's not be hypocrites. The tragedy is that it happens this way. And the politicians are smart enough. You will not see the politicians actually walk the streets in the so-called well-heeled colonies, because they know those guys, if they're going to come out, they're either going to a mall or going to a restaurant, but never to vote.
Okay, Prahlad Kakkar. And actually, we did better than Mumbai, sorry, before I'm hounded by somebody after this show. But Prahlad, I mean, what is it? I mean, the Bombay figures were quite abysmal. At least Delhi did better. But, why is it that the urban elite in this country don't care, according to you?
I've just not been able to figure this out, because especially the young people in Mumbai should go out and vote, because we've been trying to educate them on this issue, that if you don't put your vote down, you are not counted. You don't exist. You're a huge vacuum. So if you have an issue and if you have an opinion, nobody's bothered to take note of it, because you haven't voted. The demographics show that only the people who are on the edge of the city and who need the city desperately to survive, in terms of the largesse that the BMC gives you, in terms of water connections and electricity, they're the ones who are actually wanting to vote all the time, because just to ensure that their survival is there. The guys who live in high-rises, as has been said, that they can drive their way through. They really don't invest in either in the infrastructure or in a debate about the infrastructure.
But is that fair, Reena? I mean, you chose
I
not to
go
vote because that's your right to
I go to Kanpur, I go to Tigri, I go to many colonies like villages where our work happens. If you see the heaps of garbage, the open drains, I mean, I surely don't understand the logistics, and nor am I so angry, frankly. I just feel, even if I did vote, are they going to bring about any difference? Because I don't know one candidate over the other, and to me they all sounded as bad. I thought I'd rather wait and watch, because this year there has been more hype, there is more press on it. Maybe the awareness will bring about a change. Our roads have improved to a degree. Yeah.
But you feel overall it's pointless?
No, I don't think it's pointless. I think I'm on a wait and watch, but yes, I would like to vote, and I'm glad I am in your forum. Maybe it will bring about a heightened sense of awareness that perhaps I'm not doing the right thing by saying all this.
Yeah, poor you. She feels cornered, I think, a little bit. But does it make sense in some ways when people just, are exasperated and they just feel that nothing's going to change? Will my vote really make a difference? Or, it's all very idealistic to say go and cast your vote and be counted. What do you think?
No, no. I mean, I'm a little surprised by what Reena is saying. It seems almost as if she's being educated on your program about the need to go out and vote. And I'm really sorry to hear that, because she's, you know, really typical of the young people who's really part of the new India, and who we think should take the right steps in the right direction. But what I was, I mean, I completely don't buy this argument that what's the point of my voting because my vote doesn't count. So make it count. You won't know if it counts unless you go and cast it. How can you keep talking in this vacuum? How can you keep talking of an election, taking a BMC election or even a national election as part of a long weekend? You know, I mean, we've said this over and over again. And let me tell you what happened in the BMC. You know, people said that our vote doesn't count. But when you actually analyze the figures, people had won by 20 votes, 200 votes. So those people who stayed at home could have made that difference.
But the only thing is, sorry to interrupt, I don't know who to vote for, because I don't know what change they will bring. And plus, if you heard the sound pollution levels and the noise pollution of the MCD guys screaming, Kamal pe vote lagao, cycle pe vote lagao, but they did no work, and our drains are lying empty. We do all our road building ourselves. We pay for it. So from that point of view, we feel a bit frustrated.
What do people do when civic authorities don't act? I mean, that's an argument.
But the point is, then this is an enduring disaster, which means if you don't vote for change, or you don't, and I'm not blaming her, I mean, this is symptomatic of a lot of us. If you don't actually...
But don't vote for Parivartan.
But if you don't make the effort to actually figure out what they're saying. Having said that, all politicians say the same thing. We'll improve the quality of your life. The only lives that improve are of theirs and their brood. So there is going to be a slight awakening, as I mentioned earlier. It's the people who have the most to lose or gain from people who are running these municipalities are the ones who will go out and vote.
But the high turnout is also really interesting. And
I would like to make a point here, Rishi.
Yes, go ahead.
I would like to make a point here. You know, when it came to state elections, I'd like to make a point here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, when it came to state elections, people came out and voted for Mrs. Sheila Dikshit because they knew she made a difference. So it's not that, you know, nobody makes a difference. So you came and voted, and you had the right kind of government which has changed the face of Delhi. So therefore, one must apply one's mind, make a concrete decision, and, you know, with full sense of wisdom with what you're going to do. And there is always a comparison between the two candidates. And this is what we went and projected. We asked for development as Congress party, that if you have Congress in the state government, a Congress in municipality would perhaps be able to do a better job. So therefore, you know, this argument did sell. But somewhere I do agree with all those who are participating today that the elite, they perhaps would not be the elite if they had gone and voted. They have to shed this. They have to make a difference. They are supposed to be opinion builders.
No, but you do understand the cynicism as well. Ms. Walia, do you also understand the cynicism, you know, with say civic bodies over the years? Because I mean, I think most Delhiites that you would speak to will not be very complimentary about the job that they've done. They'll probably say they haven't. So you do understand the cynicism.
I do appreciate that for a long time, the cynicism as far as municipal governance is concerned has set in. But then somebody has to break it, and the democratic process only gives you an opportunity once in 5 years. Come on, come and vote. Don't crib otherwise. You can't just go on cribbing for 10 years and don't come and vote. No, you have to give somebody a chance. You've opted for this. This has also, you know, demolished the myth what Anna Hazare was saying, that, you know, cynicism is set in his party also, like the Anna team, that you don't have faith in election, you don't have faith in the elected bodies. You have to have faith in elected bodies. You have to change. You have to play the role.
Okay,
you have to be the change
what's the point that you wanted to make?
Yeah, Nidhi, the point I want to make is that it's ironic that in the national elections, people are voting more and more for development, for Bijli Sarak Pani, which are basically municipal, local issues. And then why are they not voting in where it really matters? Even in the media, we keep, you know, there's an old principle that the dead dog in the street outside is more important than the flood in China. So what's happening in your backyard should matter to you much, much more than what's happening on a distant platform.
But then, Reena, are we too cynical as a people?
No,
I mean, is there too much?